Cuse. He's a local kid. He grew up in Norwell, Mass, just about 31 miles from Foxborough. He might have the quickest hands in all of college lacrosse, but he's not just winning faceoffs. He leads the nation in ground balls. He gets involved as a scorer. He can push the ball in transition, Anise, which allows them to flip a script if they get that slow start. Has the ability to gain possession, which will be at a premium in this matchup.
Yeah, great point. So much of this game will be determined by tempo. Mullen against Shea Keethler for the opening faceoff, and it's won by Syracuse. They want to push. They want to speed Maryland up. The Terps have been so good at controlling tempo all season. Quint, we watched them in Annapolis.
The pace by taking the lead against the Terps.
That is a great point. And getting to McNaney is huge as well. He's 62% in the 13 wins, 47% in the 3 losses.
Maryland wins the second faceoff. A.J. Larkin off the wings.
Sport forward. I tell people all the time, before he arrived to Syracuse in 1986, the game looked one way. You fast forward 4 years later when he left in 1990, it looked like a totally different show. And he inspired the next generation of offensive players to a completely different level.
What I also think is so impressive.
And you see it with the outside rip.
Jonah Carrier to take this face-off for Maryland, the freshman who did not play in the first meeting between these two teams back on the 15th of February. Mullen, who has been dynamite in this tournament, dynamite down the stretch, wins the draw for the Cuse. Tillman has had some great teams in College Park, 2022, 2017, the 2016 team that lost that heartbreaker to UNC. What he does so well is play to his strengths. When he has horses, he runs. When he doesn't have a team offensively that may be as gifted as some of the other ones, but they're so strong on defense, he's not going to leave that defense. They want to put this game on their goaltender. They believe in him. 6 saves in that opening quarter, but Maryland, for the most part, control tempo.
And turnovers, to me, the key stat. Syracuse 5 turnovers, Maryland only 1.
The mental mistakes or the offsides and the ability for quick restarts for Maryland to strike.
Maryland picks up the ground ball off the faceoff. Jackson Canfield, 6th year.
Is because championship weekend is a 2-day turnaround on Monday to win it all. You give them a week, you're toast.
You know, Quint's been talking about having the championship game a week after the semifinals. I have to believe, Q, John Tillman would be the first guy to sign up for that format.
He's been saddled with the second semifinal game too often. Look, I compare the challenge to the NFL on Thursday Night Football.
He wants to initiate, get in the hands early of Maryland on the offensive end. He wants to disrupt that first layer of offense so they don't get to work.
John Mullen jumped.
John O'Derna wants to do exactly what Jesse Bernhardt is doing.
You guys were veterans of championship weekend. What is the experience factor? Let's get to that after this Keethler faceoff win. Wow, just missed that one. But where does experience come in? Because you have one team that can take its team picture on
right hand.
This is the 9th postseason meeting between these two programs. Mullen violates on the faceoff. That means he can't take the next one. Maryland with the ball. 5th time Maryland and Syracuse have met on championship weekend.
Initiate and draw slides, because when you're down 6, you have to own your matchups.
And because Mullen violated for Syracuse, Johnny Richiusa will take this faceoff for Syracuse against Carrier for Maryland. The freshman Carrier had it, lost it. Kakemo tries to scoop it up, finally does. That goal ending a long scoring drought for Syracuse. Their previous goal came less than a minute.
Cannot fall in defensive end, all on Jimmy McCool, Anish.
Well, this is a Syracuse team that has come back this season. 4 times they have rallied from a halftime deficit. They trailed Harvard 8-2 at the half in round 1. Came back to win that game, but being down 6 against Maryland, that is the tallest order. And if it's going to be a Syracuse comeback, it's got to start at the faceoff X. Did not happen there. Jonah Carrier wins it for Maryland. Quint.
3.
Maryland has had the possession advantage. Plus 14 in shots. And Mullen has had a tough day at the faceoff X. Keethler got Mullen to jump. So Maryland
will sit
down at College Park for the Game On feature. I couldn't have been more impressed.
Great young man.
Intellectual, bright, great manners. He's got an incredible future in lacrosse and beyond. But he talked about the pressure, Clark, that he felt in the club circuit after he verbaled Maryland in 8th grade.
You're 14. You're not ready for that.
People targeted him.
Yes, of course.
And then he had all sorts of knee injuries. And so to see him having success now after the road that was kind of rocky, it's really cool to see.
Yeah, some significant injuries in high.
Yeah, tomorrow is going to be a doozy of a game, and got a national championship ride and maybe a Tewarton trophy. We could see the freshman Chloe Humphrey. If she does what she did yesterday and scores another 7 and Carolina wins a national championship, how do you not put her in conversation for the Tewarton? And then obviously Madison Taylor, who broke the record.
They'll go up against the freshman Carrier, who started the year 3rd on the depth chart. An injury to Sean Crater. And Carrier of late has been the de facto #1. He and Keethler have split the faceoffs today. Mullen
spend time the day before, going to all the practices, meeting some of the new players, revisiting with the veterans.
What, you got to slide left, more, half an inch.
3-0 run by Syracuse, and all eyes now on Johnny Mullen, matched up with Keethler. Keethler trying to time up. How about the wing play? Larkin. Spanos. That is vintage Maryland. Instead of going early.
That they have going from defense to offense. Those guys are spectacular.
Spanos, 5 points in this semifinal game. Had 5 points in the semis last year against Virginia. Big face-off win by Maryland. They chuck it up ahead. Dangerous pass picked off by Grace. We come up on 4 minutes to 15 minutes left in regulation. John Tillman just said it. He's going to squeeze this clock, and he's going to try to bleed Syracuse dry.
In a day where Johnny Mullen has not been himself, but he gets one here.
Urgency for Syracuse. Mullen wheeling, dealing, scoring. And Syracuse gets one 8 seconds into the 4th quarter for Mullen, his 5th of the season.
Trying to relish the moment if you're Johnny Mullen. Maryland gives him the lane, he takes it. Rolls back, and he just won't be denied. And the interesting thing about lacrosse now, you think about possession, it's earned, it's not given. Every other sport, you get the ball. Basketball, the other team makes a hoop, you get it. Football, there's a kickoff. Lacrosse, we go back to the face-off, Clark, and nothing is given. You've got to earn possession.
He's so strong-minded, too. He lives in the weight room. Teammates say Johnny Mullen, at midnight, will find a way to get into the weight room, mentally strong for moments like this, to capture an opportunity to put his team on his back.
A Massachusetts native playing in Foxborough.
Orange move.
Mullen moved.
That's massive, too, because now he has to sit out the next face-off. You put Johnny Richiusa in there, who's not Johnny Mullen.
A skill set, attack from behind, the wing or up top. I love what I see.
Yes.
I love what I see.
Yes, he is so versatile. He was an attackman in college. On draft night, I called him a bit of an offensive chameleon because of his ability to play anywhere on the offensive set. Tillman has capitalized. Kelly Amante Hiller, the best winner in college lacrosse history, men's or women's, in the current era. She has 8 national championships. It's been the championship weekend 16 times in 20 years.
Yeah, she was telling us.
Right now, Quint, the face-off guy for Cornell.
It's going to be a fascinating game, Q, on Monday. Cornell and Maryland. 3 years ago when they met, Maryland was the ultimate Goliath. Cornell with Gavin Adler, C.J. Kirst. That was the team that had been the plucky underdog.
Year, essentially, when Logan McNaney got injured. Yeah. Rupel will be a 2-year starter after McNaney graduates, in a fantastic upside with Rupel and experience under his belt.
They do it again. John Tillman in May is indomitable.